I really love the routine that I have right now, the skincare routine that I have right now. But over this summer, I've definitely collected a little bit more pigmentation and I have a little bit more redness in my skin than in the past. It has definitely been one of those summers where I was out in the sun a lot, I was playing, and no matter how much sunscreen I applied, I just collected a little bit extra of all of that fun stuff. So I was trying to assess where I could fit something new into my routine and have it be something that would not interfere with anything else in my routine, because I think a lot of you might be in the same position as me. You feel like you have a good routine, but you just need a little bit extra to help you get over that hump of redness. Maybe you have a little bit of poikiloderma on your neck. Maybe you have a little bit of hyperpigmentation from the summer that you'd like to clear. Maybe you have a little bit of texture that you'd like to improve, but you don't want to add anything else in that is going to be like, well, what do I have to change? What do I have to move around? You just want to slide something in that will help with all of those things. So azelaic acid is the perfect choice for that. It's the ingredient that quietly fixes pigmentation, calms redness, keeps pores clear. I mean, it really is one of those ingredients that can do a lot, and it is very well tolerated. Now, the other thing that's really cool about it is that it is pregnancy safe, and most people, even with sensitive skin, can use azelaic acid. So azelaic acid is a naturally occurring dicarboxylic acid. That one is such a hard word for me to say. So it's originally found in like grains and wheat and barley and rye, but nowadays you find it in skincare products and it's lab made. And that's kind of nice because then it's stable, it's effective, and it is gluten-free. So people don't have to worry about that, because of course that is a concern for people who have a gluten intolerance. So it has a long history in dermatology of treating especially conditions like rosacea and acne and post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. So it's really cool because if you are somebody who has acne, azelaic acid can be super duper helpful because it's not only helping to treat the actual acne, but it's helping to mitigate those post-acne marks that can come after the pimple is long gone. So it makes it quite unique because it's one of those really rare ingredients that is effective, but it's gentle enough for sensitive skin, pregnancy safe, breastfeeding safe. It's really just a go-to if you are somebody who can't tolerate other things. It might be something worth trying. So what does it do? Here is where azelaic acid really shines. It is a multitasker. So first of all, it brightens the skin. So it inhibits an enzyme called tyrosinase. We've talked about that so many times on this channel. We talk about that with things like hydroquinone and arbutin and resorcinol and all of those things. Well, azelaic acid also helps to inhibit that enzyme, which will slow down melanin production. So that's going to help to fade dark spots, melasma, acne marks, stuff like that. Now, azelaic acid is also calming. So that's another thing that it does. It calms the skin. So it's anti-inflammatory. That means that it's going to help to reduce redness. It's going to help to reduce irritation. So that makes it really perfect for rosacea and reactive skin. It is also an acne fighter. So it's antibacterial, and it is also something called a keratolytic. That means that it's going to help to reduce the acne causing bacteria, and it's going to keep dead skin from clogging the pores, but without the harshness of stronger acids. Now, something that it does that I would say is kind of a side benefit is that it improves texture. So because it helps to exfoliate the skin, your skin is going to look smoother, it's going to look more even, it's going to look less blotchy. But I would say that it's not as strong as like your alpha hydroxy acids or your beta hydroxy acids, stuff like that. But it is an exfoliant, a mild exfoliant, so it's going to help with texture and make the skin look a little bit more smooth. Usually you're going to see azelaic acids in creams, in gels, or in suspensions. So you're going to want to use it after cleansing and toning, but before your moisturizer. It's kind of a, thinnest to thickest situation. For me, I'm going to slide it into my PM routine for now. And I'll probably use it once every third night to start. I'll do that for a few weeks. Then I'll move to every other night. And eventually I'm going to try to get it up to every single night. I will list my PM routine and show you exactly where I'm fitting it in between which products so that you can see that. So what do you want to avoid if you want to incorporate azelaic acid into your routine? Basically, you can use everything with azelaic acid. The main rule is the same rule as always, is just watch for irritation. So there is nothing that you're going to put it with or layer it after or before that it's going to negate or the other thing is going to cancel it out. There is none of that. However, I will say that when you're using it along with a bunch of other strong actives, you just really need to watch for irritation, because sometimes just layering extra things in that are active will make your skin feel more sensitized, and you definitely don't want that if you have sensitive skin. I would recommend trying to add it in slowly, like I'm going to. So like every 3 nights down to every 2, that kind of thing. And so you could really assess and acclimate to it. Now remember that at higher concentrations, 15 to 20%, those are prescription, and you might see some dryness, you might get some stinging. You want to pair it with a good moisturizer. So like Soothe and Recovery from Dermatology is perfect paired with prescription strength azelaic acid. Be careful when you put it with things like benzoyl peroxide or even, strong retinoids. It's not that they can't be used together, because they can. You just really want to watch for irritation, because they're 2 really active ingredients. And so you just want to be mindful of not overusing them together a lot in the beginning. So some of the things that it works really well with: vitamin C. In the morning, if you can find an azelaic acid that you like the consistency and you can layer it in the morning, it's really great with vitamin C. They are a powerhouse pigment fighting combo. Now, it works really well with niacinamide. That helps extra calming, helps with redness, and helps with your barrier function, helps with ceramide production. So azelaic acid plus niacinamide, a great combo. It also is really great with retinoids. So it's safe to combine them, and it can possibly even help to reduce irritation while improving stuff like acne and pigment. But again, I would caution you, it can help to buffer that, but it also can just add to irritation. So you want to start slow and assess your skin specifically, because of course, everybody's different. It's important to know that it is prescription strength at 15 to 20%. So here in the United States, you have to consult with a medical professional, a doctor or dermatologist, to get a prescription. And that's usually like Finacea. There's another prescription, but Finacea is the main one. You could probably get it generic at this point. But then over-the-counter stuff is usually like 5 to 10%. And there are several of them on the market now. I've tried a few of them that I really like. I will put them down below so that you at least have the information. I've definitely tried some that I think are worth the look, especially if you don't have really hardcore rosacea. I think you should talk to a derm. But if you have really mild conditions, you can start with an over-the-counter 5 or 10%, see how you do with it, see the results that you get with it. And if you feel that you could move up, then talk to a doctor or dermatologist and get a prescription for it. I will say that I had a prescription for azelaic acid several years ago, and I went in a little bit too hard, too fast, and it definitely made my skin a little bit dry and actually made my skin a little bit red because it was irritated. So I cannot stress enough how important it is to start slow and work your way into azelaic acid, even if you're using the over-the-counter strengths. And if you're ultra sensitive, you can look at the derivatives. I'm going to put them up on the screen because they're difficult for me to pronounce, but you can definitely look at those because they're going to be even a little bit more gentle. They're just better for sensitive skin. So that's an option if you're super, super sensitive. Let's talk about a sample AM and PM routine. So for me right now, I love my skincare routine right now. I feel like it's just really locked in. So for me, the way that I'm going to make it work is I'm going to double cleanse at night, or I'm going to get a good cleanse in at night. I always use my DNA repair enzymes. That's my youth recovery. Then I'm still going to use my copper peptides. So that is either the Allies of Skin. I've been testing that one out, but it's typically my May Love peptide squad. That's kind of my ride or die. Pigment inhibitor comes next, and I've been testing out the May Love pigment inhibitor, and I really, really like it. It's an affordable option, and I'll report back, but so far so good. I'm really impressed with it, especially at its price point. And then I will use an azelaic acid. After the azelaic acid, I will use a retinoid and then a moisturizer. So that's going to be my PM routine. that's where I am fitting in the azelaic acid. I will write that in the description box, lay it out for you so that if you're kind of following along with the routine that I'm doing, you will know exactly where you layer it in, regardless of which products you use. I'll put them by category in order. So my question for you is, have you used azelaic acid before? Did you love it? Did you see a difference? Did you not? I'd also love to hear which azelaic acid is your favorite. I definitely have ones that I prefer over others, but I love to share and I love to hear from you what you are loving and using in your routine and what has worked for you. I hope that you learned something today. I hope that if any of those skin conditions are things that bother you, that you might consider azelaic acid, because I definitely think it's one of those ingredients that even I kind of forget about. And every time I remember about it or somehow it's out of my routine, I'm like, why did you let that go? Because it's such a fantastic ingredient. I hope that you are having the most wonderful day, and I will talk to you in my next skincare video. Take care.